a lot of speakers speak since morning, and you've seen a lot of presentations, okay? Um, what I'm going to do is I can see that while you have lots of questions and you seem to be awake after the chai break, um, we have 25 minutes, and the topic that I have is a no-brainer, okay? Um, because more than what I can tell you, I think we can discuss amongst each other. The topic is positives and challenges of AI and automation. All right? So I'm going to make this interactive, and we're going to capture so that we are able to share collective learning from this group. Okay? It's not going to make any sense for me to make a presentation here, you take notes, and then we all meet in the networking break. So let's make this as interactive as possible. So the most important thing I want to tell you is my experience, very recent experience of a challenge that I'm facing. So we have technology. The motherboard of my phone conked off just before I was boarding the flight from Mumbai. Okay? So I'm going back to an era where people didn't have phones. They were not contactable. So at this point in time, I'm incommunicado as far as the world is concerned. The best part of it is I don't remember anybody's number except my husband's. Okay? So for the world, I must be in some airplane mode somewhere, okay, because there's no phone. Okay, now you can say that I could have, bought a phone, spare phone, this, that, and the other, but I had not prepared for this eventuality. So technology, in a way, makes us so dependent that one doesn't keep diaries, one doesn't keep whatever. So I'm feeling somebody used the word, I think Monica used the word detox. Okay, so I'm actually detoxifying in that sense, saying, okay, I don't have a phone, I did use a spare phone, and because the motherboard is affected, it's not retrieving data. So I have to ask whoever was calling yesterday to say who's speaking. And they thought I've gone bonkers because the same person who spoke to me day before, and the number would flash, the name would flash, now the name doesn't flash. Okay? So my personal experience as latest as yesterday in terms of dependence of technology and what it can do. Okay? Now, let's get into a discussion in terms of benefits of AI and automation. And let's do a show of hands. How many of us have used Excel and continue to use Excel? Okay, we continue to use Excel, right? How many of us then moved on to PeopleSoft, or used or still using PeopleSoft? Okay, how many SAP? SAP, okay. How many Workday? Okay, very few, very few. But how many still Excel? Okay, still Excel, whatever, platform we will have, whatever backup is there in Excel. And I think Abbas was just saying that the ESS and MSS are not integrated to this platform, right? So there is a lot of charts and data and all of that we saw, but integration is still missing. So from your point of view, because I'm going to take another angle, let's discuss what are some of the benefits that you are experiencing around, not necessarily in corporates, but even in your day-to-day life, from the benefits of automation and AI. Okay? So on one hand, let's capture the benefits, and then we talk about the challenges. Okay. Come on, we only have 25 minutes, so benefits. Risk mitigation. Do you want to say more about risk mitigation? risk mitigation to the extent of predictive decision making. Okay? Because in general, risk mitigation as a concept may not be a benefit. But with respect to predictive decision making, yes.
That is risk mitigation, actually.
How I wish. Yes,
That
Pratik.
happens.
Enhance people, employee experience. Cost optimization. Okay. Yes. Come on. I think we all know because what else? Data accuracy. So, I think a gentleman there talked about legal profession, and somebody here was talking about the fact that legal profession and a few other professions are facing threat because finance as well, because anything which has to do with accuracy and precision, okay, is easy for AI and automation to take over. Okay, what else? What else? So increased productivity saves time. Okay, what else? Enhances quality of work, which means that people have more time to do thinking ability. Okay, okay. Multitasking, say more. Can be with AI. Okay, so you're saying multitasking. Okay, what else? 24/7. So consistency. Okay, what else? Sorry? Can you be louder? Reduces labor. Okay. So we'll come to that. What else? Benefits. Control in what sense? Uh, when you say everything is under control, as in uh, org. Sorry? Hmm. 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 So more discipline, and she's saying more discipline, and you're more in charge. Okay. So you said something about sales revenue. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so revenue. Yes, sir. Trend analysis. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Better? Error reduction. Reduced waste. Waste. Okay. Yeah, I think better reach. Okay. All right. If you come across any more, then let's talk about that. Now, challenges. Dependency on data. On data. What did you say? Employment threat. You need to be louder. Reduces personal touch. Sorry? Affects memory. Memory. Quality of data as in? Acha, so reliability of data. Of data. Huh. Okay. What else? Hacking. What else? Okay. Um, impact on. Huh? Creativity. Creativity. Okay. What else? What else is a challenge? Yes. Say more. Say more. Adversely impacts. So you mean more 24 by 7. Okay. So impacts work-life balance. Higher cost. You need to. So if you're implementing it, are you reducing manpower? Okay, so cost could increase. What else? Digital divide. Say more. Hmm. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Is it dependence on new skill set or sorry? Huh. New skill set. Hmm. Okay. All right. Anything else? So skill set, upgrade, um, train versus buy. Okay. What else? Now, keep thinking how many of us worry or how many of us jump onto the bandwagon where people are saying that HR is going to be defunct in future, jobs are under threat, etc. We heard about the legal and finance and we didn't react to it because it's not concerning us, right? It doesn't bother us here, okay, probably someone else. But there are enough and more forums or research that's saying that, it's going to impact HR also. And the first point was employment threat, okay? How many of us agree, are worried that there's going to be an issue? Okay. Both ways. Both ways. No. Like she's saying, she's a beginner, so she's worried. Okay? Which is a very honest thing to do. So primarily HR operations or, we've spoken earlier, things which generally seem to be non-value adding, which can be faster and so on and so forth, are being automated and so on. Here, we are worried about beginners, entry levels, some of us who may be, either working on PeopleSoft or SAP or Workday, whatever. What I want to introduce here is that we hear of companies being managed by professional boards. The situation is not any different whether it's someone at the entry level or even at the board level. Okay? Today's generation is a digital native. Right? They are born with these skills. But if you look at the previous generation who are manning those board positions today, they are challenged. They are digitally challenged. Okay? So when I sit on the board of companies, I of course have people with gray hair and sometimes no hair sitting there with me. Right? And what is bothering them? Okay, so the board needs to have someone, okay, forget AI. So the management and IT and HR can churn a lot of data and bring it to them, okay? But they also need to understand how to interpret that data. Nobody else is going to replace my understanding of this data because it is brought in a certain form, okay? So on one hand, there is this challenge. It is not only upskilling and training of people at the entry level or mid level. It is even the leadership and the management of the organization that needs to be rewired as far as skill upgradation is concerned. Okay? So the big hot debate these days is about digitalization of boards. Okay? And since I am on that network, what I see that there is, everybody understands the business case, okay? So if it's diversity and inclusion, we say, what's the business case? Now we've stopped discussing the business case. Everybody says, business case to hai, okay? But Me Too movement has put a spanner in the wheel, okay? That's a different dimension. Everybody understands automation, AI, all of that is good. It has all these benefits that all of us listed down, okay? But there are challenges as well. Because the first question I asked was about Excel, PeopleSoft, SAP, and Workday. All right? At this point in time, and to your point about digital divide, haves and have-nots, there are organizations, it's very good to hear of organizations which have done all these, fancy stuff, and there is AI and recruiting and so on and so forth. But there are still large organizations, Indian organizations, that are battling with data accuracy, that are still on Excel, and they probably still don't know exact head count. Okay? So on one hand, the world is moving towards all of this, but the divide is huge because somewhere, someone in some plant in Chhattisgarh is still having to reconcile stuff on the roster and in an Excel sheet. Okay? So what is happening, for example, with the board members and all the fancy organizations these days, they will have iPads. Okay, so there is an app that gets, everything is appified these days. So you get an app on the iPad. Every board member is going to have an app. They'll train you on how to use the app. Okay, the company secretary will dump all the data for the board meeting on that, and you can start to read whatever. So companies are so advanced as far as talking about, let us start revolution at the top. Let us start digitalizing the boards. Okay? Now there is competition in the market. Everybody is trying to create board apps. Okay? People are trying to create board apps and there is competition. So people are getting trained, etc. The people who are supposed to use the app are challenged. Okay? Because they are not from this generation, they are from the previous generation. So they are wondering, do I really need this app? Acha, theek hai, this is on the tab, I have an iPad. Will I still get a folder? Can I get a printout of this? Okay, to understand, I want to look at the balance sheet of this. वो क्या है, इसमें स्क्रीन पे बहुत छोटा दिखता है. तो they'll say print out ले आइए ज़रा. Okay. Then somebody is saying, the HR head comes and makes a presentation and says, okay, all of this and this is the data we are throwing in, all the slides that we saw here, okay, in terms of all the complicated interfaces, etc. Now the board members, like I said, men with gray hair and no hair, will sit there scratching and say, okay, this is great. Somebody will say, you have 23 plants in the country, manufacturing, okay? Can we understand what is the kind of contract labor that is being deployed there, if it's seasonal, cyclical, whatever, okay? And how is that being done? Is that data available at the click of a button? The answer is no, okay? The answer is no. So the point I'm trying to make here is, one, there is no reason to fear that all these jobs of maintaining data and which will get digitalized immediately will be defunct tomorrow. Okay, that's number one. The second thing is HR has a big role as far as reducing the divide, the digital divide is concerned, because you can't have an organization where the top actually is moving in 5th gear and the bottom of the organization is still on 2nd gear and is trying to, move the organization forward. It's not possible, all right? So HR, instead of saying we have these fancy tools and let's implement this, we have a big role in terms of trying to bring the, the foundation or the first level and the second level of the organization to a level where everybody is on the same page, at least with respect to data that is available. Yeah.
There are organizations like, this is my 5th company where I'm going to implement HRMS. I've started with Aditya Birla. I've used PeopleSoft for almost 8 years. And in fact, in all the models I worked on. Then I went to Reliance, and there also we are having SAP and all. Then another 2 organizations I have implemented HRMS. And this is the 5th organization I'm working. And where the manpower is cheaper than implementing HRMS. So you tell me how to deal with that. So you can say, you can put anybody like for making payroll. If I'll hire two guys, they can hardly charge 30,000. And if I'll take a HRMS software, it will costing me around 5,000 manpower is there. So it will cost me more than that.
Yeah.
So that is the scenario. We are talking a lot about all these things. And practically when it's come to the ground, 80% of our workforce is in the manufacturing sector. You go and take a survey, you'll find that there are sea change because they don't know anything about computer. Till date, they're lagging with all the basic things.
That's exactly the point.
And in fact, after training 8 to 10 years, these people on all the processes, ESS, MSS, still I can say, I can challenge 40 to 50% of them, they still need a help of HR to operate the, or they can fill their appraisals, even leave also. So that is the scenario.
So, yeah, I think that's a fair point, and that's exactly the point I'm trying to make, is that there is a lot of noise about a lot of tools and, a lot of forward integrated platforms and AI and so on and so forth. But at the same time, we have a lot of organizations, and you can't call them laggards. You can't call them that they've fallen behind, okay? Because in the manufacturing sector and the non-IT sector, you still have places where this is the real scenario. Okay, and he's speaking from something which is at the ground. So you can't say everybody has to play catch up. Okay, it's going to take, I cannot predict, okay, with a lot of certainty how much time it's going to take, but it's going to take a lot of time. Yeah, yes ma'am.
I just have a thought to it. You very rightly said that, one should not get into that typical bhed chal kind of thing. When HR takes a call to implement certain automation or bring in certain tools along with the senior board members, one has to be cognizant of your internal ecosystem. It has to be brought in a slow pace because change, it calls in for change management. If we are talking about that the last leg in the organization should be upscaled to match up to the desired results that we are wanting. In that case, one has to be first of all cognizant of your own organization's culture, the kind of diverse workforce that you have, and the planning needs to be put in place accordingly so that it comes across in a more successful manner rather than the mental blocks of people. So it needs a lot of effort, I would say, and planning.
I think you make a very fair point. The reason I brought this and I put a spanner here, because everybody who's speaking here and probably listening is saying, Acha, that organization is doing this, Ericsson is doing this and so on and so forth is doing this, and IBM is doing this and TCS is doing this. But, and some people introduced themselves this morning saying, I'm from the manufacturing sector, I've come from Raipur and I've come from Kanpur, wherever, okay? There you may not be hearing of all these things that are happening unless it's a TCS or an IBM or, any Infosys, all right? But it's okay. There are organizations and there are environments which are, operating in that manner. So it doesn't mean that everybody, has to press the button and it has to move like that. The point is a proper revolution and a proper thing is going to happen only if we are going to move forward, like she said, in a very planned manner, and we are all aware, okay, which gives us also time to upgrade our skills, okay, and continuously upgrade our skills and continue to remain relevant in the process. All right, so all is not lost. There is a lot of hope, okay, to what the gentleman was saying, and both of you were having a discussion to say that there is a lot of time in this catch-up, okay. Going back again, we say there is so much of technology upgradation and advancement that's going on in the West, all right. Now, from that point of view, we can say some organizations are very, very progressive. Some organizations are still not. And I can talk about the Tatas because we are at the cusp where we have a large part of the organization. One part is TCS, which is galloping. The other part is the steel and the other manufacturing sector, which are just limping. They don't even know how to walk right now. They're still limping. All right. So this point about being aware of the digital divide, I think is a very important factor and brings home the point that HR people are the ones who have to help in terms of reducing the digital divide. And what that means is we have to upgrade our skills as well as we have to help other people in the organization by way of training, by way of other development to be able to catch up and upgrade themselves and stay relevant at all points in time. The minute you are relevant, the question of threat, okay, I think becomes a non-issue. Okay, that's a submission, and I know she's already stood up. Okay, I did not want this to be a monologue for the simple reason that you've heard a lot of presentations, and you must be wondering. I know at the end of the day we're going to have a question to say, if all of this, are we going to have jobs? Okay, and somebody talked about Sophia this morning, right? Chatbot Sophia, right? You spoke about it. The point is, the discussion is, can the chatbot display emotions, empathy, okay, to which HR operations, okay, may become defunct, but empathy and all of that, okay, unless they program it in such a manner, okay, for now, I don't think can be replaced and cannot be demonstrated or displayed by bots, all right? So I think there is still hope. वो होता है ना कि there is so much discussion and debate around it that we begin to wonder, are we going to be relevant? Are we going to be out of jobs? Is someone in a finance and a legal seminar going to come and sit down and say, just like we are speaking about legal and finance?
Aparna, I'll have to interrupt you here now, please, because I have to go for the book launch of yours, which will get delayed, and followed by that is lunch. May I request? She's around, she'll help you out with all the questions. She loves writing and speaking and connecting with people. So please connect with her during the lunch.
More importantly, when I was writing, somebody asked me a question, who wrote the book? Who wrote the book? Okay. So I was wondering what was that question about. Did you type the book or did you dictate the book? Okay, because these days there are programs and apps where I just talk and it gets typed on its own. That's where that question was coming from. And the question was, who wrote the book? Okay. The question was not, how did you write the book? But it was, who wrote the book? As if a bot was writing the book. Aparna's bot was writing the book. Okay.
That's perfectly fine till the time the thoughts were yours.
Okay.
That's okay.
Thank you so much, Aparna. So finally, who wrote the book, bot or Aparna? Okay, may I request Mr. Talis, Mr. Abbas and Mr. Ram, if please kindly come on the stage and unveil the beautiful book written by the series author Ms. Aparna Sharma. And photographers, videographers all be aligned because there would be a book launch and it has to show. Okay.
अनाउंस कर दीजिए इनके बाद किस चीज़ है
Those of you who were not aware, Aparna was with NHRD yesterday and she was...
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to India's first corporate news channel. We invite interviews, articles, press releases from your organization. Visit our portal www.indianconventions.com. Thank you.